Magi's greatest arc is the Balbadd arc. It was already a great anime from its first arc, but this arc propelled it to new heights. Here's the necessary information going into this arc. The main trio is made of Aladdin, Alibaba, and Morgiana. Alibaba is the prince of Balbadd, but since the king died, his oldest brother, Abmad, took over. Sinbad is the king of Sindria, a powerful country. The Ko Empire is a rival of Sindria. Now we can get to the plot. What makes this arc so unique is its focus on complex economical issues. Balbadd used to trade with Sindria, but due to some bad decisions made with Ko, Balbadd has been forced into debt, and Abmad plans to repay that debt by selling his citizens as slaves. Ko plans to further cement their connection by having Abmad marry a Ko princess. Sinbad wants to continue trading with Balbadd, and Alibaba wants to save his home country. This economic strife flawlessly leads to the plot of the story. Based on this foundation, the decisions the characters make and the events that happen logically form into an engaging plot. Because the country is corrupt, and the people in the slums are suffering, Ali decides to join the Fog Troop, a group of Robin Hood thieves, and give back to the poor. This decision is reinforced by his background of being a slum kid before becoming a prince. His plan is to eventually use his status as prince to talk to Abmad. This disruption is what causes Balbadd to stop trading with Sindria. Because Sinbad wants to keep trading, he decides to stop the Fog Troop himself. But once he realizes that the troop is trying to help poor people and that the king is corrupt, he allies himself with the troop to have Ali replace Abmad as king so that the poor can be helped and he can revive the trade between Sindria and Balbadd. All of the events in the plot stem from the characters and their reactions to the economic problem. Alibaba and Sinbad's dynamic is another major quality that enhances the arc. Ali is what's called a king's candidate. Magi are supposed to choose kings, and Aladdin, a magi, chose Ali as his candidate. Ali is supposed to be a great leader, but he's not. Sinbad is everything Ali should be, and it makes him look really bad throughout the arc. Sinbad was better at fighting and beat him in a one-on-one. Sinbad was confident in making decisions while Ali was unsure of himself. Sinbad was good at giving speeches and rallying people behind him while Ali was out of words. The final nail in the coffin was when Ali's plan to save Balbadd failed, and Sinbad said he'd use Sindria to start a protest to stop the Balbadd government. Sabmad, Ali's second brother, who was against Abmad's ways, just looks at Ali and you can hear the disappointment in his voice. He had just asked Ali to save everyone, and Sinbad stole the spotlight while Ali sat in silence. How are you gonna let someone else step into your nation's affairs and save the day? Sinbad also tells Ali that he'll have to become the king of Balbadd. When Ali went to fight Cassim against saving the nation with bloodshed, he had no alternative plan, adding another loss to his record. Sinbad's been sunning Alibaba this entire arc, but all of this frustration is finally paid off in the final third of the story. Alibaba finally takes charge like a leader, and it's inspirational. He storms the castle on his own and gives a powerful speech to all of the poor people about how he'll save them before entering the gates. He and Morgiana defeat all of the king's bodyguards by themselves. Once the whole war is ended, Ali refuses to marry the co-princess and refuses Sinbad's suggestion of becoming king or appointing someone as king. Instead, he makes a third path, his own path, and turns the Balbadd kingdom from a monarchy into the Balbadd Republic, meaning that people elect their leaders instead of the royal bloodline inheriting rulership. Sinbad helped out in Alibaba's political negotiation with Kougyoku by having Balbadd join his alliance, but Ali did most of the heavy lifting. Alibaba even talks over Sinbad after Sinbad steps in, showing he's still in charge. This was one of the hardest glow-ups I've seen in a single arc. Alibaba not only stepped up to the plate, but he surpassed expectations and made his own path. Him taking constant losses and getting outshined for 2/3 of the story arc made his victory in the final third so much more sweeter. Did you notice how long I've talked about this arc without mentioning the fights? Because Monkey is actually a battle manga. That's how good this arc is. There are fights in this arc, and they're epic and tactical thanks to the great magic system. But this arc doesn't need to rely on fights to carry its quality. It doesn't have battle syndrome. Like FMA's Lust arc, the Balbadd arc has different types of action scenes apart from just fighting. There's the Fog Troop stealing to trouble the government, Sinbad and Alibaba going to the king the first time to discuss politics, Ko executing political plans to completely take over Balbadd, Alibaba's final negotiation, including getting Kougyoku to abandon the slave treaty, abolishing Balbadd's monarchy, and making a new country to escape the promises to Ko. Alibaba and Kougyoku have a full-on battle of wits in the castle. Characters make chess moves based on the economic situation in addition to the fights, and that makes the story feel more competent because it doesn't have to rely on fights like it's a crutch. This arc isn't a one-trick pony. The characters in this arc are amazing. Alibaba is such a strong and magnetic character despite being the deuteragonist. He showed that he could really handle the role of protagonist because for this arc, he basically was. His relationship with Cassim was phenomenal. Both of them have a tragic backstory together, but even in the present, their dynamic is wonderful. Cassim wants to start a war using the troop, but Ali doesn't want innocent lives to be sacrificed. Both of them have the same goal, but different ways of accomplishing it, which enhances their dynamic. This is the final push that caused Ali to storm the castle, and save everyone without bloodshed. After Balbadd becomes a republic, Cassim causes more problems because of his jealousy with Ali. Under all his motivations, Cassim really wanted to become king. Their issues are resolved when Aladdin uses Solomon's wisdom. The themes during this battle were brilliant. Cassim believed that your birth circumstances decided your fate, and he hated that. He cursed his fate as a scum, and wanted to become someone amazing. He wanted to be Alibaba. Alibaba's response to that, which is the theme, was that you should accept your differences and live life to the fullest. The alternate future shows Cassim becoming a great person based on his individuality at birth. Through this talk no jutsu, Cassim is able to come to terms with the fact that he and Ali were two different people who could ever be the same, and that there's nothing wrong with that. I have a more detailed analysis on these two in another video. The world building was fantastic. We learned so much about locations and concepts unique to the world, like countries and the magic system. There are so many phenomenal scenes and decisions. All the fights were tight. Sinbad is actually an OP character with 7 djinns, but for most of this arc, he was stripped of these powers so that Alibaba could eventually have a chance to shine. If Sinbad had his metal vessels, he could have easily solved the issue all by himself. This was a genius decision that allowed Sinbad to exist in this arc, and have his dynamic with Alibaba without ruining the plot. Alibaba using his djinn equip for the first time, after the story showed Kougyoku, another dungeon capturer, use it first, was an epic payoff. Ali abolishing the monarchy was hype. Aladdin getting knocked out before the attack on the castle, and coming to save the day at the very last minute, was clean. Solomon's wisdom resulted in a powerful emotional moment between Ali and Cassim. A small detail is that the banker who ruined Balbadd's economy is the same character as the arms dealer who gave the Fog Troop their weapons, so that means that this one guy was instigating the conflict of this arc like he was Envy from FMA. Can't forget the tradition. Opening check. Ending check. OSC check. I call that a treble. This music is off the charts. Magi opening 1 might be one of the best anime openings of all time. This arc just fires on all cylinders. In conclusion, the balbadd arc is legendary due to its economic complexity that, along with the characters, is also the root of its logical plot. The spectacular dynamics between Ali and Sinbad, and Ali and Cassim, the phenomenal character writing, the strong theme, and the powerful, exciting, sad, and emotional moments of the story. Definitely one of the greatest arcs in battle manga. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, and help me revolutionize the manga industry by buying my manga and spreading the word. All important links will be in the description.